What's up, guys? Wacka here, welcoming you back for the next week of the Magikarp League, Season 8. We are on Week 7, and we're facing against Tark, coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning. His team consists of Mega Glade, Tapu Fini, Ferrothorn, Dracozolt, Crocodile, Crobat, Gigalith, Rabombi, Licky, Magmortar, and Murkrow. And as you can see, he brought the Dracozolt, Glade, Tapu Fini, Gigalith, Crook, and Murkrow. And we are repping the Articuno, Tangrowth, Torn, Slowking, Alcremie, and Cinderace. I don't have like a team builder this week because by the time I got the chance to even record a team builder, I was pretty much about ready to battle, and I didn't really want to record one. So we're just gonna hop right into the battle. I also have a mid-season recap that I have recorded, but I haven't uploaded it. So if you guys want to see it still, I can go ahead and upload it. But just keep in mind that it's recorded after Week 6 and not Week 7. And other than that, the reason why this video is so late is because our Week 7 match ended up being late Sunday as opposed to like middle of the week. So I'll probably be uploading this like Monday or Tuesday whenever I remember to. But yeah, let's get into it. So just looking at the lead, I figured it would be a good start if I went Tangrowth, because Tangrowth can take a Bolt Beak from Dracozolt. It can wall Mega Glade pretty decently. It can Seed Bomb the Tapu Fini that if it wants to Calm Mind or do whatever. I'm also Assault Vested, so I can also take like an Ice Beam or a Fire Blast from Dracozolt. And then it has a good matchup against a Gigalith and Crook with just like its typing alone. And then Murkrow, if it leads, I can easily just switch into like Alcremie or something. So yeah, we lead Tangrowth here, and he decides to lead the Gigalith, so I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can knock off its leftovers or its recovery, and he misses the Toxic, which is huge. So I go Slowking because I figured Slowking doesn't really care too much about Toxic as much as Tangrowth does. Because Tangrowth really has a good matchup here against the rest of his team. And here he goes for the Fire Blast on Tangrowth after I teleport. So I'm like, crap, he actually brought the Fire Blast. So I just go Cinderace thinking he might just Fire Blast again, but he gets a crit Draco Meteor, which I actually didn't calc to see if it mattered or not. Also, I really need to slow this thing down. Yeah, so he gets the crit Draco, and so he goes Crook on Tangrowth for some reason. I thought maybe he might be running like Sludge Bomb, but it turns out he just wanted to get the Toxic off on me, so I just figured Alcremie's probably only good against Crook and Murkrow anyways, and here he's kind of just sacking the Crook. I kind of thought that the Dazzling Gleam would one-shot, but I wasn't modest this week. I think I'm max defense Alcremie. I'm also max defense Tangrowth almost, but I do have like a little tiny bit of Spit F investment, so I can live like a Fire Blast from Dracozolt. Here he decides to go Gigalith for some reason, so I just go back on the Slowking because Slowking can kind of wear it down. I figured he might actually switch back into like Crook or Murkrow, so I think I teleported here. Yeah, I teleported back into Tangrowth, but I figured he stayed in, so I'm like, ooh, I really can't stay in because he's going to click Toxic. So I go back into Slowking because there's not really a point in not. And also I just get the Regenerator health back anyways, so I should be all good in that sense. So I just click Scald here, hoping maybe if like Zolt comes in I can maybe burn it and Bolt Beak won't be that scary. Or yeah. Yeah, so he goes Tapu Fini, actually, which is kind of strange, but... so I teleported because the sand ran out, and I figured he might switch. And Articuno is my Fini answer. It has, Freeze Dry, Haze, Defog, and Roost. So I believe I clicked Defog because, if he goes back into Gigalith, like, he might have to click Rocks, which gives me, like, pretty much a free switch back into Slowking. And I think he really wanted to get Draco's ult in at this point. And at this point, Draco's ult kind of just, like, kills something. And he goes for the Fire Blast, and he misses, sadly, but I think at this point, Bolt Beak is, like, even a low roll would have killed me. So he just goes for the Bolt Beak, and at this point, I'm like, well, Tangrowth is back up to full. I live a Fire Blast. And he just decides to keep clicking Bolt Beak, so I just Earthquake and kill it. Which I think mattered in the long run, because if he went for the Fire Blast, then Tangrowth would have been, like, completely weakened. So here he goes into Gallade, and I just go into Torn, hoping that he just, like, clicks Knock or Close Combat, and I only take, like, half from one of those, so yeah. And then here I just kind of clicked Air Slash on the Gallade, because I really do need to get the Gallade weakened. And since I have Regenerator, it doesn't really matter if I lose some health with the Torn. So I just go back into Slowking, hoping to just kill the Gigalith at this point, because I think by now I kind of thought I lost. So I just wanted to preserve, like, differential and just make some safer plays in general. So he decides to just stay in with Gigalith and sack it, because I guess he doesn't really need Gigalith anymore. I think here he goes Fini. So I just teleport out to pretty much scout what he does, because I think I lived any hit from it. And he just decides to go Articuno. So here I just Freeze Dry, I think. So either that or I Haze. Yeah, I hazed. And then I think I clicked Freeze Dry. Or I go into Torn for some reason. I don't remember this part of the battle, if I'm going to be honest. I think I predicted him to switch out into, like, Murkrow or Crook. But he decides to just, like, stay in. So at this point I'm just like, well, I'll just click Freeze Dry if he switches out. Which he does, and then Articuno gets the first kill of the season, I believe. I think, what were the other two kills? Oh, Tangrowth and Slowking got a kill. So here I just go into Torn, because I think Torn is honestly the only answer to Mega Gallade. So he goes Murkrow on the Air Slash. And it does over half, so I figured I can just stay in an Air Slash, because I don't think Murkrow can do too much to Torn. But he goes for the Tailwind, which is really spooky, because now this Gallade can honestly just wipe my entire team. But he goes for the Swords Dance here. I think after 2 or 3 Swords Dances, he can kind of just sweep the rest of my team, so I kind of thought that I lost here. Luckily I didn't, because I believe he needed to set up a little bit more on Tangrowth to get it to die in one shot. So he actually loses a Tailwind, which is big, because now I can just bring in Torn and win. And then he misclicks here, which I don't think mattered, because Air Slash from this range would have just killed. But if I got, like, a high roll, I could have possibly 3-0'd this battle. But here I just go Torn. He goes Shadow Sneak. I kind of thought he'd have Shadow Sneak, but I calced to make sure if it didn't kill. It doesn't kill, so I just kill with the U-turn and go Articuno. And at this point, I decided to just start clicking freeze dry because I think Articuno beats this thing 1v1. But I guess now I pretty much speed up because this battle gets really long for almost no reason. It's basically just Tapu Fini clicking Ice Beams, Haze, or Calm Minds, Scald, Draining Kisses, and Articuno is just freeze drying and roosting. Just trying to find its way in through Fini. Yeah, I think here I could have probably like won the battle, but I decided to play safe just in case. And I knew since Fini has the leftovers, it's gonna be super annoying to take out. And I'm pretty sure we could have stalled the PP out of each other. Or at least until Articuno lost its roosts, or if Fini lost like Draining Kisses. Because once Fini runs out of Draining Kisses, it kind of just loses to freeze dry. So at this point in the battle, I'm trying to figure out how to get Torn back in so I can just knock off the leftovers. So I think here's when I do it on the Calm Mind. So I just knock off the leftovers. I let Torn go down. And then at this point, Articuno, I think, has to click Haze, and then I can click Roost. He did have a chance to win if he crit or if he burned me, but I got really lucky with no burns and no crit. And this is basically the rest of the battle. He ends up freezing, which doesn't matter because he has Scald on Fini, which kind of just kills anyway. And I keep getting really lucky without any Scald burns. I think if he got a Scald burn, he probably would have won the battle. But I had to risk it because I couldn't let the thing stall all of the roosts out of me and then like get the Calm Mind and then Speed Tie Draining Kiss. So here, if he crits, he wins. But he doesn't, and I get the freeze dry kill. And yeah, that was about 30 turns of Articuno outselling a Tapu Fini. But yeah, that was a really good battle on Tark. Really unfortunate with the Draco's ult missing the Fire Blast. I think he was Hustle anyways, so he was definitely gonna have to miss some move. Although I think he missed Toxic twice on the Gigalith or the Crook. I don't remember. He missed Toxic like once or twice in the battle, which is really unfortunate for him. And if he got the Toxic off on Tangrowth, I really think I would have played a lot differently. Just because Tangrowth kind of 1v1s almost all of his mons. But because if I was Toxic, I really just couldn't keep staying in, and then I would have had to switch more. And then if he got up his rocks or quick knockoff on like Articuno, then I definitely would have lost the game if he got the rocks up. But yeah, we dodged a lot of Toxics, and we just dodged a lot in general, especially with those Scald burns. That Fini used Scald 15 times. And his first Scald burn was the very last one, or one of the last ones. But anyways, this video will probably go up on like Tuesday. I think next week we face the Milwaukee Stantlers. They have like a Chansey and Mega Gyarados, Coco, and I think he has like Lucha. And then like a bunch of other stuff. I think it'll be a fun match though. And we will see you guys next week. Hopefully we can get another win, because I believe at this point we are our win-loss ratio is I think 5-2, and I've won the last 5. And I think if I can win just one more game, I think it's pretty much guaranteed playoffs. If not pretty close. So I'll be really excited if I actually get in the playoffs here. And I will see you guys next week.